Welcome back to Imelda Talks, where we talk about anything and everything. Today, our guest host is Nancy Werju, my dearest cousin and a current student at Drake University studying sociology. Today, we will be discussing the Black experience in the music industry, how to promote change, and what we believe is missing in the industry, and solutions for more representation. We will be discussing all of this through the lens of the Kendrick Lamar halftime show and this year's Super Bowl. So, Nancy, do you want to just say hi and introduce yourself a little
Yeah,
bit?
hi, my name is Nancy Werju, and like my dearest cousin said, I'm a student at Drake University studying sociology, planning on getting counseling for mental health. So, I love music. I don't really listen to it as much as I did before, but this halftime show for with Kendrick Lamar is very powerful. So I'm excited to talk about it and digest it all.
So prior to starting the interview, we just watched the halftime show. So I'd recommend anybody that is interested in continuing listening to the show to watch the halftime show on YouTube to kind of get a little bit of background information, but to also understand the things that we will be diving deeper into. But speaking of background information, we're just going to kind of start talking about Black artists in the music industry. So, in the article, Integrating Hip Hop Culture and Rap Music into Social Justice Counseling with Black Males by Washington, talks about how rap music is an expression of hip hop culture and can function as a part of conceptualization for like the Black experience as a whole. And they talk about how history and issues of social justice have alienated many groups of marginalized communities, but from the very beginning, hip hop culture and rap have carelessly publicized racism, classism, and sexism in their music. You can see in their lyrics how they talk about different marginalized groups, but then also all the issues that affect these groups. And in the article, When You Got the Yams article by Kendrick Lamar and the Language of Power in Clinical Encounters by Oldfield, talks about how Kendrick Lamar struggles to even be a hip hop artist, but he says it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time. Hip hop music has a history of being blamed for violence, for being used for criminal allegations in courtrooms, and even being received as attempts of like censorship in a way. So, my first few questions for you is, why do you think marginalized communities gravitate towards hip hop culture as an emotional outlet?
So I feel like with an emotional outlet, you touched based on it a little bit of how they grew up, like the lyrics
Mm-hmm.
that they use and the music with the violence and everything. It's
Yeah.
literally that just them talking about what they grew up about and like how they grew up
Mm-hmm.
and how they made it to be like big and
Right.
how they are. And then also it's part of the culture in general. It's the beats, the lyrics, just like the music. It's catchy, so
Mm-hmm.
and it's true.
Yeah,
So,
and like it really said, conceptualizing their Black experience
mhm,
in America. And I
right,
feel like because of the oppression that they received,
yeah.
that's like sometimes they feel the only way that they can do it through the
It's
music.
just thinking
So,
about it, and I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get a little deep with this. When it came back to like slavery, they all were together at once, and the best thing that you do is just like sing. And
honestly,
it's
yeah,
just gospel music,
yeah.
and just depending on the Lord as
Hmm.
well, and just singing worship songs. That's where a lot of worship songs come from too.
Those times, yeah, and
Yeah,
that's why gospel music is so
it's
big
powerful.
in Black culture. Honestly, because that's literally where it stems from. That's their voices, even though they didn't
Mhm.
have a voice, but when they're together, that was literally the only thing that they
They
had. And they used it to
yeah,
make beautiful music, and now that's why,
get them through it.
yes, gospel music is so engraved into like Black American
Mhm.
culture
Mhm.
because of those times.
Yes.
So, how has hip hop allowed Black communities to reclaim their narrative in society that often misrepresent them?
You know how like with the whole violence,
Hmm.
um, it just they talk about their story,
Yeah.
and the violence is part of it.
Hmm.
And I know like we use there's vocal language, like
Hmm.
we use words that people usually won't say or couldn't say or shouldn't say, but that's just part of how they can express themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it represents them because that's what it is. Like, you know, sometimes they may have said certain things that will be very offensive towards other cultures.
Oh yeah.
But it's like that's how they made them feel in certain times. So they just gotta vocalize it and let them know. So yeah.
Do you believe that rap music still functions as a voice for the unheard, or do you think it has commercialized change in its role in addressing social issues?
I think it does still have a voice for the unheard, especially with like Kendrick's halftime show. He really talked about, he's just like, oh yeah, you chose the right person for the wrong time, because especially with like the political world right now, there's so much going on, and not that many people really like pay attention to it unless it's like in a song or like in a TV show or something like that, because people really don't pay attention to the news as much as they should, because it's actually kind of depressing as well.
It is,
you know. So I don't know. I do think that it is like for the unheard, and it just shows how life is in the real world. If you don't pay attention to like politics shows or like political shows or like just news in general, you can still hear it throughout music.
Right. Okay, so before we shift into the halftime show itself, I want to zoom out just a little bit. Based on what we've discussed so far, hip hop as an outlet, as resistance, and as storytelling, what do you think is currently missing in the Black music industry?
Honestly, I think the fact that it's not broadcast as much as like, you know, other types of music, especially within your home, like home radio that like broadcasts other music, just because like the thought that like Black people are conceived as like bad, and because dangerous, of the language violent, and the beat and the like lyrics and the words, and dangerous and violence, exactly. So I think that's one thing that's missing. Yeah, there are some lyrics that you obviously don't want your like younger kids to be listening to while you're in the car and the radio, but they always censor it. So why not just, you know, just like why not play the music, let them hear the story behind it, and just censor the words that you don't want them to hear.
And honestly, speaking of radio, when you said that word, it made me think about like growing up, when we actually did listen to music on the radio, it was never any Black artists.
Right?
Ever. It was always white mainstream artists, never any Black artists. So when I was getting into listening to music, I had to go and look for these artists.
And if it was like songs that were Black artists, it was always like the mainstream ones. Yes. The ones that you hear in like stores.
Yes, yeah.
You know?
Because those songs were not as quote unquote like violent or didn't have that the depth of like the story behind it, life, you know? It was quote unquote acceptable,
danceable, and this and that. But it's like you said, exactly. Like you said, how you have to go deeper within the artist. You have to go to the whole album, because
the whole album,
there's some from the first song to the last. And the mainstream music is like in the middle. There, you know, we just throw it in there, and I feel like sometimes it's just based off like their contract that they sign, where they have to do it, or just to get their name out there, and then they try to promote their actual album for people to listen to. But other than that, it's just mainstream.
Do you think that the industry honestly supports Black artists?
No. I feel like they support, but a lot of support at the same. It's just, you know, pretty much like what I said earlier with like the dance trends and the like lip sync trends, and like just it's all based off of Black music.
Yes, that is so true.
And Black culture.
Yeah.
So they support it in a way where they
can benefit off of it.
That's literally what it is. But for them to like actually be like, oh yeah, what's your favorite artist? They always say some other non-black artists, but the support is not really there unless they're like a real true supporter.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah. Do you think there's any specific barriers within maybe like the industry itself or just society holding black artists back from that support, that recognition?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just like based off like the reactions that people are gonna get, because even as an artist you need to think strategically.
Oh my gosh.
On am I gonna make money off of it?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the artist, it's based off the audience.
Okay, that's actually a really like putting things into perspective, because I feel like when it's non-black artists, they can make music and it's going to be received well.
Even if it's not a good song or music. Yeah.
When it's a black artist, the expectations are literally through the roof, and they have to like carefully put together the storyline, these lyrics, like it
the beats.
Yes, perfectly put everything piece by piece together, so then the like us receive it and like actually like it. They actually get streams, they make money off of it, things like that. Yeah,
because I hate to say this, but it sucks that I have to say this. It's sometimes black people don't support black people.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just music is there, especially like the ones that are like everyone hears it and all that stuff, but when it comes down to it for real, they really don't support. And it's not just like music, it's like clothing lines and like stuff like that, And so that's why I'm just like, they really have to study the audience and know who it's gonna hit and who it's gonna like really skyrocket from.
Yeah, that's so true. So now as we dive into the halftime show, we're just going to start to dissect it a little bit. So in the article, The Deeper Meaning Behind Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl Halftime Show by Patel, honestly really dissected this article super, super well. And they talk about how his show is the biggest show ever. It streamed over 133.5 billion views, which passed Michael Jackson. He performed in the early 2000s,
which is crazy.
Yeah, because MJ, like, social media was not even a thing. Yes. Okay, he really did his biggest one on that. But Kendrick Lamar, they're saying, surpassed his.
Because MJ was a king of pop. Don't play with him.
That was just insane. They say how it was highly symbolic and unconventional for sure for a halftime show. And they talk about how the backlash among conservatives and politicians like was just a lot. They claimed that it was difficult to understand and that the lyrics were very dismissive and quote unquote gibberish. Okay. And they also criticized the fact that he had only black backup dancers.
As he should.
Okay. So given all this information, when you hear that conservatives are making these kinds of comments, what do you think of? Where does your mind first go to?
Honestly, I feel like conservatives, when they don't understand something that is like theirs, if that makes sense, they always will have something negative to say.
Always.
So like the whole gibberish thing, I was just like, what do you mean gibberish? Like you could hear it clear and loud what he was saying and what he was representing. It's just you didn't like it.
Right.
And that's why you're planning and just claiming it as, oh, it didn't make sense and this and that, just complaining.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind goes, because if it's something that they don't like, they're gonna make a big issue out of it.
Yeah, and automatically deem it as less than, doesn't make sense, like any of those like negative words. My sister Anita, she always says, like, when we talk about this, she was like, she said that was her favorite like halftime show. A lot of people don't understand it. And she's like, if you didn't understand it, then it wasn't for you. But I would honestly want to say it backwards. If you did not understand it, it was for you.
Okay? Yes. Oh my gosh.
You need to open up your ears, you need to open up your eyes to actually see how this truly portrays America.
Yes.
Like, this is literally America that you are living in, and the fact that you can watch that and not even an inkling of anything in your mind or intuition to be like, okay, maybe there's something deeper than the surface that we're just seeing, is like, okay, you need to do some
there's research or something, because obviously if it's like you're not understanding it, why not try to understand it,
right?
You know,
right?
And I just love the whole like halftime show, the whole representation of how America is and how America should be, and yes, the words that were said, just the song that was sung too. Yeah, it was powerful.
He really hit a lot of different topics. So to kind of get into those topics a little bit, so in Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, The Article, The Revolution, A History Lesson in Storytelling by Gatskin, says that the overarching theme of the halftime show is game theory. And we can easily see that the way the field was literally set up as a controller.
The whole X stage,
everything, right? And that it's about decision making, and the main player of the game was Kendrick Lamar, right? And you can see the design with the X's, the O's, the triangle shapes, the PlayStation controller,
the colors.
The colors, yes. In the right at the beginning of the show, it was a little glimpse, but in the crowd, there was lights that said "Start Here." And you have to like really watch it to notice it.
Yeah, I don't know if I noticed that.
It was literally said "Start Here." That was also indicative of literally a game. You know what I mean? Samuel,
which makes sense. Yeah.
Samuel Jackson was portrayed as Uncle Sam. Okay.
Yep.
And this represents, of course, America, but him being a black man, and we all know Uncle Sam is not black.
Oh no, we all know.
Okay. Now embodies a role that's obviously associated with white people. And he introduces Kendrick Lamar by saying, "This is the great American game." And honestly, when I first
that all
heard
makes sense with the whole like game control,
right? Okay.
The game. Yes. Wow. Okay.
When like I first heard that, in my head, I thought like, okay, America like as a country is literally a joke. Like
it's a stage. It's a stage.
Literally a stage. When I first heard that, I'm like, okay, America is actually like a joke. Like this is not.
We're not serious.
Not serious at all. But of course, he is referring to like actual like a game, but also like football, because it's the NFL. It's not that. Well, it's the Super Bowl. You know, they're performing for the Super Bowl, and they talk about they're incorporating all these different themes of football and the video game, and just symbolizing this journey going through the quote unquote American dream.
I was just about to bring that up.
American dream.
I'm like, you ever heard about the American dream?
No.
And because Uncle Sam is a huge key point in that whole thing too. Yeah.
But the American dream in and within itself is a whole different topic.
Exactly. Because you got to work hard to get the life that you want. Exactly. The house and the picket fence and all that.
The white picket
fence.
Yeah.
Oh but it's not as simple as they make it seem.
It really isn't.
Sounds easier said than done, really.
And Kendrick Lamar, he starts by saying, "The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, the wrong guy." Come on. Oh my god!
Because he said, "I'm about to tell y'all about this."
He told
he really did.
Oh my gosh! I thought that was so funny because it's like the right time. Like, okay, all these injustices are happening.
Political,
right
yes. Okay? Injustice, yes.
And you chose the wrong guy because I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna
tell you
raw. Like,
exactly.
This is I'm gonna lay it out to you.
And I feel like that's how it is with like just rap music in general. For sure. They are so straightforward. They're like, hey, this is this is that. Like it or not, I'm gonna tell you.
This is what it is.
It is what it is.
We can't continue to sugarcoat things to try to be the nice guy.
No.
Somebody has to tell you like the God honest truth. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because half the time, everybody's trying to cover up everything, trying to make it. It's just not. It's not okay. One thing to like note is that Trump was at the game, and this is the first time that a president was actually
at an actual Super Bowl halftime game,
and they're actually.
No, they made a big deal about it. Yeah. And then the fact that he performed what he performed, he was like, you know what, Trump, this is for you.
That's literally what I thought. Honestly, when I heard about that, I was like, okay, Kendrick Lamar. Then I saw the halftime show. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Trump was there, and like he was pointing a huge finger at America. And if you're pointing the finger at America, you're pointing the finger at
the president who's supposed to be running it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was like super bold. Okay.
Honestly, I feel like it's bold as in, yeah, I feel like I know what you mean when you say bold, but very bold of Trump, because it's just like, you went to the halftime show when Kendrick was performing out of everyone.
Right.
You went to
Kendrick. On top of that, he has like criticized and like made fun of Trump multiple times in his music.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and it's not even that, like, you know, because I love Kendrick as an artist himself. He's a poetic artist. I love him. Poetic justice. Yeah, come on. He's a lyricist. Like, he knows how to play with his words.
Yeah.
And there like are other rappers that are actually big, like J. Cole. Yeah. I remember there was like a whole thing, you know, with the J. Cole and Drake situation. J. Cole apologized. He was like, "Hey, bro, I want no smoke. I don't want no smoke because I know how you be coming." Drake, on the other hand, A minor. Anyways, so you know what I mean.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, like, he's not to be played with. So all. Of course he's gonna literally tell you the raw truth.
And one thing that also stood out was the fact that the field, the NFL field, at the end of the field, it always had end racism on it. At the, what is it called? Like the
end goal.
Yes, end goal. And what I heard, they were conspiracizing that because Trump was there, that they removed the end racism because he was there. Yeah. And so they like,
I did not hear that, but
changed it and put something else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I think that, like, Trump being there, this whole American game really said a lot. You know what I mean? There was a lot to go.
There's a lot of there. Truth telling.
For sure.
Yeah.
After each song, Uncle Sam would interrupt Kendrick criticizing the song and his performance.
Too loud, too this.
Okay. Yes. And the first song that he sang was Squabble Up. And Uncle Sam, after like interrupting him, he said, "Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto." Mr. Lamar, do you know how to play the game? Okay. Yeah. So what do you think is the point of Uncle Sam interrupting him and specifically saying,
do you know how to play the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, honestly, I feel like it's just like you're supposed to follow in line with how they want you to act, you know? Because
oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
Speaking of that, okay, so I was in my psych class and my instructor was telling me about how one of the like Democratic representatives was talking about like ICE, and she basically said, if you're given illegal instructions, do not follow those orders. And she got removed from office.
Yeah, because if you don't follow what they say, you're being, you know, a delinquent.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I mean with, like, not following in line. Like, you're supposed to play the game as in. So, what I was trying to get at is they fear black people. But if you're one of those black people that, like, I'm not saying people that live in the suburbs are all, you know, this and that. But if you're friendly and you know, just act a certain way that, like, you know, other culture does. But the culture of, you know, other people, and you seem and deem as, like, you know, you're clean, quarter zip, matcha, you know? Exactly. That's exactly what I mean, especially because we're in this little trend of the quarter zip and matcha. So I feel like you guys can get what I'm going towards, you know, picking up what I'm putting down. If you're that, and if you, like, went to a private school and, like, you know, have well education, speak well English, it just, they're not afraid of that. So you're supposed to follow that line. And if you don't, and you come out with, like, you know, I guess you could say, like, locks. You got locks. They hate to see a young black king, educated king with locks and earrings, like, piercings, tattoos. And they get read by them. Oh yeah, they hate that so bad. So that's what I mean, like, by playing the game. That's why I see it. It's just like, you know, you just gotta be like that, you know?
Because I can totally resonate with the going to, like, a private school, speaking proper
we both
English,
went to the same high school,
and people would always tell me I'm quote unquote whitewashed because of like I wouldn't talk ghetto,
right,
or like use a lot of slang.
but the thing is, we know how to code switch.
Okay,
don't worry about that because we got it for sure.
It always bothered me because I'm like, okay, why does the way I speak have to be attributed with my blackness? You know what I mean? And it's not only in Black culture, but it's other
culture,
other not
Americans.
Because if someone else were to see me speaking quote unquote ghetto, they would attribute all those things you just said. And it's like, okay, then that person is like, stay away from them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then the thing is also, I don't know if they want us to see it as like a compliment. If it is, it's the most backhanded compliment ever.
For real.
Because they'll ask me like, oh, they'll see me, obviously, like with my dark skin, melanin, and all that stuff. And they'll be like, they'll ask us, obviously, I wasn't born here, but I'm very Americanized because I came here when I was 4 years old, right? I was born in Africa, came here when I was 4, and when they start talking to me, and then they ask like what school I went to and this and that, they're like, oh my gosh, she speaks like clear English and this and that, and I'm like, what the hell?
Like what kind of comment is that? Like, who says that?
And I literally just stare at them. I'm like, oh, okay.
And so do you.
You do too. Right? Because what? I'm like, am I supposed to say thank you to that? Like, I just never know how to like respond to it. I just look at them. I'm like, I don't know how you want me to respond, or like, what did you think you were gonna get out of saying that? What was the purpose? Right. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So that's what I mean.
So in his video, he had all Black dancers dressed in red, white, and blue. Okay,
and he was dressed in red, white, and blue,
literally
as well.
And they formed the American flag, right?
Yep.
In the scene, so they had the American flag. He was in the middle, and he was standing right in the middle. And that honestly kind of symbolizes like the
divide,
yes, of the culture and then the politics happening right now. And honestly, like when I thought about, like when I initially saw that, I'm like, dang, like I was like, wow, like literally just wow.
You know, the first thing that I noticed with the whole halftime show was obviously Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam.
Yes.
And then the colors and the flag.
Yes.
And I said, oh, okay, he's doing something with this. He's doing something. He's trying to tell us something. He's trying to tell people that need to know about this.
Yes.
You know?
And he did that.
Yeah, no, he really did. Yes.
Then he touches on Americans culturally appropriating Black culture through the song Man at the Garden. So he had the dancers in the streetwear under the lamppost, and they're all there nodding.
The guy that was on top.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're all nodding, kind of giving like the 1990s. And then Uncle Sam calls them homeboys, quote unquote homeboys, and says that he's using the cheat code, and that white Americans, this kind of symbolizes how white Americans will embrace Black culture, but by choosing, like being picky choosy,
choose and pick,
yes, what they want to like celebrate, what they want to reject. Okay, so why do you think that white Americans embrace certain elements of Black culture, like the music and the fashion, but they distance themselves from the actual Black culture? Yes, the social issues, everything that comes with it.
It's what benefits them, what's convenient to them.
Convenient.
Because, you know, like there's a lot of music that comes from Black culture. And it's not even just like music. There's so many things, like certain objects that are made from Black people that they never really, in shows, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on that, that come from Black people, Black culture, but somehow it just gets lost in the mix and it gets more popular because of, you know, the white people do it more, and they're more support for the white people,
and that's how it's
popular. And that's how it's just like, and then it's just that, like, you know, oh yeah, no, this person made it. No, actually, that person stole it from a Black person, and the Black person never got the actual credit.
They never got that recognition that they actually deserved, but they are claiming it like they're the ones who invented it or came up with it.
Exactly.
And then later on in the performance, he pops out with SZA, love SZA,
love,
and they perform their hit duet Luther, and then All the Stars from the Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah,
and then Uncle Sam interrupts again with saying, "That's what America wants.
Yeah.
Nice and calm. You're almost there. Don't miss this." And then I think he was gonna finish the sentence, but Kendrick Lamar interrupts, and then he cuts him off, and he starts singing "They Not Like Us," and then Uncle Sam walks away frustrated. So how do you think that shift from like the slow song of Luther and All the Stars to the upbeat song Not Like Us reflects society trying to possibly control or limit Black expression?
Okay, so I feel like with Luther, because it's a calm song and everything, but then when it comes to like All the Stars, I feel like when he says almost there, he's like, okay, All the Stars is like, it's still calm and everything, but still there were so many controversies around it because of the fact that like it was connected to the Black Panther movie, and so many people had and that was the #1 movie for like a good month,
a good hot minute,
like a month or two, and like a month and a half, and so many people were mad about it because it's just like, one, we've had many other like Black superheroes and stuff like that, like Black Panther, Africa, Wakanda Forever, and there was a lot of truth in that movie for sure, but and then also the fact that like it was just a cast of all Black, people, maybe like 1 or 2 white people, and it was like I said, it was telling truth.
Yeah,
they really didn't like that, and that's where I think of when he says almost there. But then with the "They Not Like Us," he really was talking about they not like us because they don't have the culture, they don't have the food, they don't have the music, they don't have the style, the fashion, everything like that. Yeah. So it's like you guys are really not like us, but we'll play the game. Okay,
and
we'll play the game.
It doesn't have to be even seen like in a negative sense,
right? No, like, at all.
You literally are not like us. Like you didn't have to go through what like the Black
slavery,
segregation, all that. Even till this day, you don't have to experience what we go through in America have to experience, and because of that, you literally are not like
us, and that's okay.
Yeah,
it's the fact that they don't accept the fact that they're not like us.
I think that's the whole cultural appropriation thing. That whole situation, the being picky and choosy. It's like, okay, you're not like us, but don't try to come and like oppress, and then like, oh, actually, I think I want to try this.
No, for real. But yeah, no, that's where I think of with the whole thing.
So okay, as he ends his performance, he says, okay, I did not understand this like when I initially heard it. He said 40 acres a mule. This is bigger than the music.
Honestly, you're not alone. You're not alone because I didn't either. Bro, TikTok be teaching me things.
TikTok, oh my gosh. Literally, the way that when that performance came out, like,
people were quick
explaining, breaking down
every lyric, every verse. Yeah,
that was crazy. Okay, so he's referring to the land and the property promised to freed slaves after the Civil War, right?
Yep.
So, what do you think he's trying to communicate about this unfinished business of racial justice?
I honestly feel like it's just we're trying to take back what's ours, if that makes sense. We're just unfinished business,
literally unfinished. Yeah,
we're trying to finish it. I mean, it's not even I feel like it's not something that's gonna be done right now, but it's a start.
Right,
we can start it now and hope for the later generations to finish it, because it's what, 400 years of slavery.
That is
400.
That's insane.
That I think we're not done yet
at all. So okay, he ends by saying, like, turn this TV off, and like he just says TV off. So this honestly is emphasizing, I think, like police brutality, racial stereotypes, and this
politics
revolution. Yes. So what are your thoughts on just, I guess, the way he ended his performance, like the way he started it, and then the way he ended it?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually never really thought of that because I never really thought of how, like, he says, turn this TV off. I thought it was just, like, catchy, you know?
Honestly, when I first heard that, I was sitting here, and, like, I watched it, and I'm like, I think he's literally telling us to turn this TV off and, like, actually get out and do something. Like, we're sitting here behind screens.
Make moves.
Like, okay, we see all this stuff, right? So it's like...
do something about it.
Literally,
that makes sense.
That makes sense. Stop being a bystander and actually go and enact change in this world. Like, you see all these atrocities happening. Don't be one of those people that are gonna sit and enable,
or just like say something and not do something.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know I mean, even like just protesting, that's doing something. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Now that you said that, that makes sense, and I see where you're coming from because that makes sense. You know, yeah. Honestly, yeah. Turn the TV off. Okay. Get up off your couch. And do something. Make a move. Make a change. Make a wave.
So
not Disney. But yeah, no. But all seriousness, for real.
Okay, so before we conclude, do you have like any other comments, anything that we didn't go over that maybe you saw in the performance, or just like your personal overall thoughts, anything like that?
I don't know. I don't really have much to say, but just like discussing based off like music in general, I think it's very real, and I've said it multiple times throughout this, but it's very healing as well.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not just like Black music, it's just music in all general, over. Yeah, in general. And I think music is what makes a unity as well. You know, because we can hear music from like Europe or like the Middle East or whatever. It's just like the beat and the connection. That's how people come together. Honestly. You know, and it's a wide world thing. And I appreciate the fact that music is even a thing in general.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it does honestly bring people together very well. So as we wrap up this discussion about Kendrick Lamar, considering all the things that we pulled from the halftime show, such as appropriation, silencing voices, political tension, what do you think are real, concrete courses of action the music industry could take to promote meaningful change?
I think just promoting it in general, just like, you know, making sure you shout out certain artists, not even just artists, DJs, they need some love and appreciation too, because without the beats that they make, there's no music, there's no words, you know. And then just like social media is a huge thing within this 21st century for sure. Just the best you can do, even if you can't put money towards it, share it, like it, stream it, and just do the best you can to just get their name out there, so people know who they are. So I feel like that's just probably like the best in
way you can. I feel like that's also really good for like individuals like you and me. You know what I mean? Like I can't listen to
or even just going to like concerts.
Going to concerts, exactly. That's something I really want to do more often of, just like actually going to concerts. And I've been able to go to one concert this year, the Giveon concert.
Right.
And he's not a huge artist.
But
he's known. Exactly. Black artists supporting him, his first time going on tour, like I love being able to actually go and do that.
Right.
And put my money towards him to like help uplift him.
And also to just show that they actually are about their art, like their music, you know, like they're not, because especially in the world of technology that we're living in right now, with like artificial intelligence and all, like, you know, AI, and there's so many ways people can get auto-tune. So many ways that people can get away without actually having raw, real talent. You know, so going to a concert where they really are about their art,
and that mic is on,
like rent is due. They are gonna show you that, like, I mean, I don't want to say like it's them begging for, like, you know, your money. It's just, especially if you are an artist that really love the gift that you have been given with the singing and rapping, poet, whatever, you're gonna do it no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
So the fact that people are actually like going out their way and spending their money to actually really see the performance that they're given, the gift that they're given, it would mean the world for them. Right. But you know, so I just feel like that. Yeah.
And my very last question for you before we wrap everything up is, do you think that protesting through performances actually helps shift public understanding of politics, Black culture, anything that it's trying to bring awareness to?
To reach out to people? I do. Like you said, with like the protest, I mean, everything is broadcast. Everything is on social media. Everyone always has their phone out. And if it's not on the news, it'll be seen on like one of the social media apps for sure, and then it'll make its way up there, and people will see it. So protesting and showing your true passion on like how you feel about a certain thing, and I don't think people listen until you start screaming and making, I don't promote violence, but destruction, you know? So that's when people really actually start paying attention. Because other than that, they're like, oh, you're just hooting and hollering.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
And that honestly reminds me, okay, so like the MJ performance, how that was the biggest performance. His performance was promoting like orphan kids. And everybody remembers that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he went to Africa. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My mom told me about how she was like, yeah, I remember he was there.
This is literally why Africans
and people were there packed. Africans, especially when he died. Oh my goodness.
Gosh. Streaming his funeral.
Bro.
Oh my god.
Live sat.
No, that was crazy.
It was a tough time for the African community.
It was, because like you can see how such a big artist was showing care to this
impact he had. Yeah,
exactly. And this is why stuff like this matters.
Exactly, and it's not even that. He did a huge thing with like injustice too. Yeah. Like that one song, "Didn't Really Care About Us." Oh, I love that song so much. He was just like, yeah. And then the music video, if you see it, he's literally in a jail, like a
cell.
Yeah, no, not cell, but he was in a. What word am I trying to say?
What's prison?
Yeah, so like, you know, just he was in a prison in general, and he was with prisoners, and he, you know, just made a music video about it, and it was just like, all I really know is they don't really care about us. He was very much telling about the injustice of not just prisoners and inmates, but Black people in general.
It's so telling.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on my podcast.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me and thinking of me.
I know. We always have great conversations.
Of course. Great laughs, great talks.
You're the perfect person.
Yes.
And like, you know so much. I knew you would have a lot to say about this performance.
Even though, like, literally you told me the questions, and I was just like, okay, hold on. Wait, let me go back to my storage, my mind storage.
Right. What can I pull up?
Yeah.
So I honestly just appreciate you coming out here and just giving your time to help me create this podcast.
No, I love this. I love conversations like this. And like you said, we always have great talks, great laughs, and
but anyways, thank you guys everyone for tuning in to Amelda Talks, where we talk about anything and everything. So just stay tuned for our next show.